In a vast landscape full of adventurers, you are now listening to the world of chaotic amateurs.
Welcome to Chaotic Amateurs, the internet's number one D&D 5e Let's Play podcast. I am your DM and Alex. What is this? What's the... I don't know where I was.
Start over.
I can tell you.
Start over.
No. Listen. You left off at I am your DM and Alex.
I am your DM and Alex. To my right, I have...
Dash as Thrakus.
Bentley is Rafiri and Night Meadow.
Red as Zephyrus.
Oh, Scory as your Caleb.
And Milo is Ball.
And last we left our adventurers, they had just been serenaded at the Spider Tavern. And soon to come onto the stage is Adrian Bard. Let the adventure begin.
Stop.
It's not funny. This is how you get him to do shit like that more often. Don't encourage him. No, I'm kidding. It was fun.
So yeah, last we left off, the wolves were howling, summoned by Scory Telbrun, the druid who's howled down into the night. The local band of wolves that kind of patrol around the city and act as a protective force join in, filling this tavern, the Spider's Tavern, with the howls of the wolves. The lights go down. These flickering lights go down. A figure comes out to the stage, and the lights begin kind of swirling around them. These amber and yellow lights slowly fill the stage and kind of light only the stage as Adrian comes out with his stringed instrument and begins kind of slowly playing just a few little notes, and kind of just calms the crowd a little bit and says, "All right, patrons, tonight I tell you the tale of the mighty wolves pack." And the howls of the wolves go again and kind of fill the area. Seems to be some kind of magic emanating from Adrian, not an enchantment magic to try and convince anyone of his charm, but just to bolster the sounds he makes. Says, "We all know the winners of the tournament are with us today, but how did they get there? How did they achieve such feats? Through determination, strength, cooperation, willpower? Nay, all of these things combined and more." And he begins to sing the tale of the wolf pack, how you all came from these varying places. An ex-soldier, a shadow-cloaked halfling, a robotic, war-forged professor, and the local noble Zephyrus, Lord Magnus. How he brought all these people together with the knowledge and know-how of the seer, who looked into the future to see what paths of fate might intertwine and lay the bounty onto Usama. He just goes on, just embellishing, every detail you did. There are some things in his telling of the tale that are what you guys did, but turned up to 11. you guys were the heroes of heroes, and goes for a good 10 minutes telling the tale as he plucks away at his instrument, kind of gaining.
I do a Chuck's kata behind
tempo
him.
And what's that?
I do a Chuck's kata behind him.
You get down there and start performing.
Yeah, like I'm doing like a kata, and I'm getting into it.
All right. Yeah, he kind of like as he's telling, the story of Riff as well, sneaking into the shadows. He makes it seem like he doesn't even see you as you kind of stealth around and do these, like it's a performance art piece that he begins to sing about. And he ends with this, rousing speech about how the wolf pack will defend the honor of Turalin and Usama against the elves of Galandior.
I end in a splits and go, wolf balls! And I'm...
Oh, yeah. And he tries to gather the crowd to support you all in the coming days, that you need their strength to be able to go forward. And the crowd just goes wild, clapping and just, oh, yeah, woo! Throwing coins up onto the stage. A number of them kind of turn up to you, and some of the lights kind of move over to you, and they cheer for you. The group that was drinking in the corner, a couple of them raise their glasses, and one or two of them fall over.
I try to get a chant started that says wolf pack, wolf pack,
wolf balls, wolf balls,
wolf pack, wolf pack.
Adrian kind of builds it up too, and starts kind of getting the tempo with this song, and he spends a good amount of time just showing off what it is you all did.
I like to swing my axe above my head.
All right, give me a performance check.
Carefully, I hope.
Well, I'm pretty drunk, so
yeah, that doesn't sound like what you would do.
3.
3. You don't hurt anyone. I mean, everyone around you knows to stay away if you're doing something. And yeah, you've kind of got your axe and you're like kind of holding it, and you drop it and you have to pick it up a little bit. But people are they're into it. You've got a big axe and you're a big dude, and they're
got a big axe.
they've got their drinks
just swinging it around,
raised up to you.
Isn't it made out of bone too?
Yeah, big bone.
It's a giant bone. I got a giant bone here.
At this point, I would say the two young gals that Ball was talking to have kind of like come up the stairs and see you kind of fumbling with the axe and are a bit scared and just kind of slowly make their way back down. They're like, maybe we shouldn't go up there. No, they seem busy. And they just turn and kind of go back downstairs and have their drinks downstairs. But after a few moments, the performance ends. Adrian looks at everyone and says, "Thank you. Please make sure and tip everyone well. I will be here for the rest of the week, and I do hope I'll see you all at Cord's Coliseum." And everyone cheers.
I'd like to lock eyes with him and raise a glass to him as he walks off stage.
And yeah, he gives you a knowing nod as he steps back through the curtains. All right. What do you guys want to do?
After the ladies leave, I'll go ahead and pull out my little vase and start tinkering inside of it to make it detect magic just in the area. Or mostly waiting until what's his name? Adrian comes back.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, it takes a little bit before he begins heading back. You notice at the end of his performance, the lady gets up and leaves, escorted by the guard. Looks like she was just there for the performance.
Well, she sat in the baller section, so.
What's that?
She sat in the baller section. She's allowed to come and
That's
go if
right.
she pleases.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
And there's
where
like a
ball
private
is.
door in the back.
Yeah, that's what I thought you were doing. I thought you were doing the baller
No,
section.
that would have been good, but I suck.
I should have just taken credit for it.
That is what I was saying. Yeah.
But yeah,
Hallmark of any good comedian.
10 minutes or so pass, and Adrian comes back up and just looks, all in a huff. Not a huff. It looks a little flustered, I would say.
Was he plucking an instrument while he was playing, or?
Yeah, he had an instrument he was playing.
Gotcha.
Yep. He says, yes, thank you so much for attending the performance. I have some other matters to attend to. If I should meet with you soon, the day of the tournament for sure, but you said I could be invited to your estate, Mr. Magnus, perhaps tomorrow night.
Absolutely. I will have my manservant dressed in his finest clothes waiting at the front door all morning until you arrive there. Even if it's in the evening, he will wait there out already.
Oh, I don't mean to impose, but if he is there waiting for me, I will gladly
I do love
say
a good
hello.
manservant.
But of
Okay.
course, the invitation is day or night, Master Adrian. You come as you please.
I have a question. Scory doesn't care, but Caleb wants to know: does he leave out the same door that the lady leaves out of? Like that's the business he needs to tend to?
It's not the same door. No, it looks like the door he had. It wouldn't have been the one he went out.
Is that
at
the vibe?
first? It was
I'm
the one
getting,
kind of
though?
closest to you.
Is that the vibe?
Give me an insight check.
You'd have to roll insight, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna let the DM tell me to do that. Okay.
Yeah. No, I'm the DM for this game.
Yeah.
My bad.
Burned.
14.
14.
Because if she's there just to see him,
She's a patron. She pays money for him to play.
I'm thinking maybe this Pierre and her aren't necessarily as
Exclusive?
heavy as she would like.
You can never trust a Pierre.
You don't know if it's the lady that his business might be with, but it is something in that vein where he's off to see someone.
To gallivant. I understand.
Yeah, he's out to gallivant.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say with that insight check.
I love
Well,
that
maybe
word.
after wowing him with dinner tomorrow night, he might take upon himself inviting me to his gallivanting.
Ooh, sexy
He just
results.
Before he leaves, does anything pop off for my detect magic for him?
So yeah, the kind of the magical or the musical instrument he uses is magical. It's I would imagine not enchantment, probably transmutation.
Okay.
And he himself has some sort of enchantment on him. Most likely some sort of like glamour to change his physical appearance.
Cool. And I think it probably would have went off before, but is there anything that comes off of the coat that Zephyrus is wearing?
The coat that Zephyrus is wearing? No, there's no innate magic on that.
Just wanted to double check.
Real bummer.
Yeah.
That's a real bummer.
Yeah, I was hoping you could like attune to it. And
I was hoping the same thing. I meant to ask during the metagame minute, but we talked too much about Led Zeppelin, so.
Anyways, I will see you shortly, my newfound friends. Make sure and keep your reputation high. And if you need to do any dirty dealings, make sure they're done in the shadows. Okay. And he bids you adieu and exits out one of the kind of employee doors.
Am I rather mistaken in thinking that this town has a weird obsession with keeping their streets clean? Wolfpack?
I hadn't
I don't
It's
noticed.
know.
like a nice town. I
I
don't
mean, wouldn't
notice
you want like a
anything
nice
about it.
town? So, like, when
Even
you invite
clean.
people to like come see you at your fucking awesome castle, Chateau de Magnus, they like go through like a nice town rather than like a shitty town, and then they get to your place.
Riff, I did not mean literally the streets being clean. I was talking rather about their dealings. He said, keep your illicit dealings in the shadows.
I love the shadows.
It maybe just means that they're really filth. They like clean on the surface, filth inside. Thinking's hard right now.
Yeah, Wolf. Go ahead and give me a Constitution check or a saving throw. You've been drinking for quite a bit. You're
11
drunk now. 11. You're doing okay. Yeah, I would say you keep the same levels.
Nice.
You don't get any more sober, but no more drunk.
Oh, perfect.
You're right. You're
Leveling
riding that
out.
wave.
And he knows when he gets like this, he always asks for my pipe. Like we're standing around and he's just like, yo, can I get a hit on that?
Trying to hear on there. I lost mine.
Mr. Wolf, you may always have a puff of the shadow smoke.
Oh, nice. I'm gonna take a hit of his pipe.
We got that shadow dank over here.
Yeah. You start feeling it. Yeah.
We should start calling
Nice.
it salad, given our earlier conversation.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Iceberg lettuce for you there, Mr. Wolf.
So what do you guys want to do? You're in a tavern. Seems like people are still having a good time here. The group that was having the drinking game seems to be kind of petering off, but the merchant that's across from you seems to be doing a bit more business. There's some more people dancing on the floor.
What kind of merchant?
It's tough to say. It's kind of from across they seem like they are some sort of business person.
Can I get closer and listen in to see the business dealings and see what kind of?
Yeah, give me a perception check.
Yep. 15.
Yeah, you spend a few minutes, you kind of break away while everyone's at the table and spend a few minutes listening in, just from kind of leaning on a post. You're fairly unassuming. You listen in. This is somebody from the assignment office, is who this is, and they're talking with some people about how to divvy up the contracts that they have that have been coming in. Sounds like there's been a lot of work that's coming in, and they almost don't have enough people to take care of everything, and they're trying to figure out how best to divvy up all of the assignments.
What kind of assignments are they talking about? Like, is it Monster Hunter kind of stuff, or is it something else?
The details you get aren't very specific. Most of them have to do with the South, the new opening up of the Mage's Wastelands, scouting reports, things like that. Just investigations in general.
Okay. I want to. Do I know if any of you are from the southern regions, in particular?
I think you know where we all are from, and we're not from that area.
No,
I think at this point,
you're the one most closely associated with that area.
Okay. And is there any place names that I recognize being dropped?
No,
It's further south.
Well, no, it's part of the Mage's Wastes, which, from what was the place associated with the war, the place where the war happened. But before that, it was the place where the mages held control. If you tried to go into that region, you got turned around and kind of just sent back your own way through some sort of illusion, trickery.
Even my group and
yeah.
our feelings. Okay.
Basically, you knew to stay away from that area, and so that's why not much is known about it.
I see an opportunity, and I'm curious about this area, potentially kind of maybe cashing in on something that people I used to serve alongside may not have an opportunity to cash in on. So I want to lean in and say, what's your most difficult contract? I'll take it.
All right, give me a persuasion check as you kind of proceed from the shadows, letting them know you've been listening in this whole time.
That's my bad. Sorry, guys.
I want to take a picture of this.
Dude, what you guys don't know is I've been texting Bailey for like the last 5 minutes. I go,
Oh, come on now.
I was like, you should jump in there and be like, Rhett, button your fucking shirt. You're disappointing the family. And then she just yelled at him and he buttoned his shirt.
I thought she just saw me through the door or whatever.
I noticed that your
That's
shirt is nicely
hilarious.
buttoned up to the top. That's wonderful. I got a natural 20, by the way.
She
Oh,
propositioned
get the
that you're
point.
not wearing pants,
Nice.
though.
What's the total?
What was it again? In
Persuasion.
19, but it's a natural
19.
20.
Okay. It's a natural 20. I just want to know, kind of what way the wind is blowing, as it were.
My way.
The merchant kind of looks at you and covers some of the papers that they're holding and says, "Well, that depends. What are your skills? Is it just you?"
I say, it's not just me. And without looking, I move the papers that he covered up, or that he shuffled on top of other papers. I
Mm-hmm.
move them aside, and without looking, I just look them straight in the eye. I say, I've got others, and I want that one. And I just put my finger down on whatever contract was there that he covered up. I have no idea what it is.
He, pulls it out from underneath you, looks at it, hands it over to you. He says, "You finish this, then we split the money half and half.
How much time do I have?
As much time as you need. These contracts don't have an expiration date on them. But the quicker you do it, the more money you get. The more money we get."
75-25. It's a deal.
He kind of looks over at his associate, looks at you, and he says, "No, I don't think you understand. We control the work here. You want to work for us, it's 50-50. We think that's pretty fair."
You don't know this area, right?
No one knows the area. It's the Mage's Wastelands. No one's been there. It's brand new, exciting world.
Exactly.
So I know as much as you know.
So
That's why.
I
50,
reach
50.
over, I pull him up by the collar closer towards me, and I say, "Why aren't you going there then? If you're not going to go there, 75-25.
He
And
pushes
I-
you. He's going to push you off of him, and kind of as you do that, and stands up. He says, and kind of pats down his fancy business suit. He says,
I help him.
he says, "You see, I control the assignments in this town. I control who works and who doesn't. So if you want to make money, you play by my rules. If you don't want to make money, then I can put you on the list." And he kind of goes on like that. If you want to try and intimidate him into giving you 75-25, I need an intimidation check. You've persuaded him enough to have him give you this contract.
Yeah.
But if you're trying to strong arm him into more money,
And I see that Scory grabbed this dude, right? Like
if you're paying attention to Scory.
Are you paying attention to Scory?
I must have turned and seen this at some point. Maybe not the exact moment you grabbed him, but I don't know. I can let you roll.
I mean, yeah, it's still a ways away. It's a pretty big area, and you guys are opposite from each other. So, yeah, what's the intimidation check?
Can I cast guidance on myself?
You can, yeah.
Okay.
You take a moment to kind of say something.
Yeah, you see me put my arms up in a certain pattern.
Yeah.
And nobody knows it, but it means something. This is not good. This is really not good.
I know he needs. To
Hey,
get rid
he
of
rolls
it.
really good and then like shit.
Yeah.
Is how it goes.
So I rolled a natural 1 plus 1.
Natural 1 plus 1, so 2. So yeah. Kind of as you're grabbing his collar, you don't.
Plus another 1, so 3.
Oh shoot, 3. Okay, yeah. You grab his collar. It's not with much strength. It's not with much, chutzpah. It's you seem fairly weak to this merchant, and he pushes the 50-50 take on the contract.
I kind of harumph. I don't say anything, and I just turn and walk away with the contract in my hand, suggesting that I accept the terms.
Good.
But not happy about it, obviously.
Obviously, yeah. And he kind of turns to his associate and says, well, we've gotten that taken care of. Now for these other
I
ones.
read it.
Yeah.
Rhett, did you have a question? You were holding your pen.
I was going to interject in that scene, but it's over. I don't need to.
Yeah. As you're making your way back, you kind of unfurl the scroll, and is what it is. And it goes over, there's a number of notes made by some Uzuma scouts on the location of some interesting structure that was found in the wastes. The Uzuma Kingdom wants to know what's in that place. Basically, to fulfill the contract, you need to make a report based on what is in this structure. It says to go to the outpost that's down there and talk to the commander, and they will supply you and give you any information you might need to make your way through the wastes. It says to check in with them first before going out.
Gotcha. I want to approach Zephyrus and say, it would seem with the war ending, we've got some possibilities for business, as it were. And I show him the contract, but I say it's on the back burner. As you can see here, the due date is...
There is no due date.
Not
indefinite.
Yeah, not existent.
Yeah. But it does say on the contract, if it's completed within 30 days, then the reward is 500 gold.
Okay. Do you see that, Zephyrus?
Yes, I do, Mr. Telbrun.
So if there are things more important that we should take care of ahead of time, like, for instance, maybe going to the Crafters Clan, we can do that. But we've got a way to secure some funds if you need to hold your estate in this town.
Well, and if you would remember, Mr. Telbrun, the prize for winning in Cords Coliseum come 2 days hence is a contract to do with what we pleased.
What does that mean, do with what we please?
We can fulfill the contract down in the Mage's Waste, or Mr. Wolf suggests that we could sell it and perhaps procure a backdoor arrangement that would lead to more gold lining the insides of our pockets.
So we've got options, is what you're saying.
We have plenty of options. Now, if you remember one other thing, Mr. Selbrun, is that Mr. Competition was speaking about how it is, of course, the nobleman's responsibility here in Turlin to disseminate the contracts as they see fit.
Ah, I understand.
I'm seeing a stack of papers over there, Mr. Telbrun. Are those all contracts concerning exploration of the Mage's wastes?
I believe so. Allow me to give you this one and do with as you please.
Mr. Telbrun, if you'd be so kind as to go along with my ruse, I do not wish to you any physical harm. However, if we are going to convince those folks over there, you're going to have to bend down here and let me pull your ear.
I understand, sir.
I grab Mr. Telbrun by the ear and I march towards...
Oh, you meant literally?
Yeah. Not let me talk to you quietly. No, I mean literally let me pull you over here as though I'm chastising a young child.
I'm not sure I'm okay with that.
and then spank him.
Yeah.
I'm definitely okay with that, but the ear thing I'm not okay with.
Mr. Telbrun, if you walk quickly, I will not have to tug on it as much as you think. This is all for show. I do not wish you physical harm, nor do I wish to enrage you into personal combat.
I'm bored. What am I doing?
Porphyrian Night Meadow, you will stay there and you will wait till your betters get to you. Now we are conning these fine men out of their contracts over there.
I start putting away my little vase thing, and I walk up next to Riff and just kind of stand there with her.
So what's going on here?
I would like to begin a con that Mr. Telbrun was my man whom I sent to talk to this fine man who's presumably from the city's office in charge of sending out these contracts, that he was supposed to acquire my fair share as the presiding owner of Chateau de Magnus of contracts to disseminate to my hirelings, my retainers, and
yourself,
and to whoever I see fit. Thank you, Mr. Wolf. That is what I'd like to do. I was going to do it more theatrically by hauling Mr. Telbrun over there and saying, Mr. Telbrun, now, what here is the problem? I sent you with a very specific task of acquiring my fair share of the contracts to disseminate as I see fit. Now, I hired you because you are a man of considerable stature, Mr. Telbrun. Now, tell me why it is that you are not successful in getting these contracts. And I put my finger down right on a stack of papers in front of this person. Yeah. Not addressing this person. I'm addressing Mr. Telbrun, of course, because this is all part of the con.
Right. So yeah, the merchant, you kind of press some of the papers and he kind of pulls them close and starts kind of, gathering things and say, what is this? What's going on? Is this your servant? Is this your man? I have given him a contract. Are you?
I put my fingers on his mouth and hush him. And I say to Zephyrus, listen here, you piece of shit.
Me?
Yeah, you. I say, I did what you asked me to. It's this man that would not acquiesce. I demanded 75-25 like you asked, but he insisted on 50-50.
50-50, a fair offer.
And I walked away with the contract no matter what, like you said. So don't you dare defame me.
Mr. Telbrun, I see clearly now as sun through a rainstorm where our miscommunication happened. I told you that you were supposed to procure 75% of the contracts as was discussed between myself and Lady Mira of Tyrolin. Now, I can see that would be confusing. I must have misspoke. Whatever arrangements you arrange for payment, I am happy to honor here, but I need to collect those contracts. I'm
sorry. You said Mira was giving you these contracts. I'm sorry. She's the one that gave these contracts to me to disseminate as I see fit.
I
gave your man here one of these contracts he chose. We've made a deal. If he chooses to break that, then that may mean you're choosing to break that, and I'll have to go to Our Lady to settle this dispute.
It's called...
I don't see what the problem is if you are wanting to work.
Might I have your name, sir? I always know the names of the people whom I interact with, and you seem like a mighty fine, honorable, and forthwith person.
Yes, I am Assignment Master Gordlock. You can find me if you need to discuss anything further in the assignment office.
Master Gordlock, surely you saw me down there talking with Lady Mira shortly before Master Adrian's performance in the bar.
Was Lady Mira here? I don't ever recall seeing her here in this establishment.
Master Gordlock, your feigned
a lady
ignorance.
Such as her would never be caught in a place like this.
But she's a fan of the wolf pack, you see.
Master Gordlock, I pick up what you're laying down. You're right. Mistress Mira would never hear. Of course not. No, when I was talking to her privately back there at the castle of Tyrolin.
I see. So we are on the same page.
Absolutely.
Here's the deal. These contracts are not drying up, Mr. Magnus. we are getting more every week. If you complete this contract for us, I will make sure more flow your direction.
That puts me at a bit of a strange impasse here, you see, because, of course, Mistress Mira told me that I was supposed to come and acquire several more contracts from you, or I was supposed to procure payment in advance for work herewith.
That
as
is
part of
something I will have to discuss with Our Lady.
Perhaps I can roll a deception or something and try to press him as though he'd be inconveniencing her.
You can give me a deception check, yeah.
Okay.
He's like kind of starting to gather his things. His associate has stood up at this point.
I'm gonna cast guidance on him if I can.
Okay, guidance. If he can cast it.
Yeah, go ahead. It's a fairly easy one to cast.
Not much better. 16 total.
16. He says, as I was saying, I'm going to have to speak with Our Lady. Perhaps you should make an appointment with my office and we can discuss things further. Come on, we seem to be attracting more trouble than it's worth here.
Master Gordlock, you have my sincerest apologies for wasting your time. I know that it is as precious as gold around here.
Exactly. And they begin making their way out of the tavern.
Gods be damned, Mr. Telbrun. You bungled that one up.
What exactly were you guys trying to do? You were trying to get contracts from
more contracts, more money for our house. Yeah.
Like try to get contracts to try to sell to other people.
Then sell.
I was thinking that we could then either sell them or use them to disseminate them for like favors to people. I was also thinking we could go into the wastes and have like more than one contract fulfilled at once, more like economic value. I was thinking just we should get that whole stack and then we're set.
How seriously, Alex, do they take like Cord here in this city? And like how important is the arena events to
the arena
like, core of the popular opinion?
Mm-hmm. The arena is fairly new to the city. But Cord is a fairly prominent deity that's worshipped by, you'll find followers in any town in Usama. And especially for towns like Toralin, the competitions that are held, the festivals that are held, and the people that are kind of famous because of those things are held in higher regard. Yeah.
Okay. Would I have heard their kind of discussion, their argument?
I would imagine it was probably loud enough to hear.
I was being pretty spirited.
Yeah. I want to go over to Zephyrus, and I want to say, I was thinking if you wanted to negotiate further with that man, it might be wise to use Cord as a bit of leverage. Remember, Cord loves advantages. Remind him that if we are to become the tournament champions, Cord's champions, and it got out that he refused the services or the hospitality. You get what I'm saying. Words are hard.
We're still a little drunk.
If he refused the champions of Cord, that public opinion might not look favorably on one such as himself. Just a little bit of knowledge.
Mr. Wolf, that is cold-blooded and shrewd Master Gordlock, might I have your attention one more moment?
Oh, he's gone. They are out of the tavern.
Next time.
Yeah. No, they made a hasty retreat.
Next time, don't slur your words so much there, Mr. Wolf. You might get them before they reach the door.
I thought of that idea as soon as he stepped out.
It was worth a shot.
Ball and Riff, you guys are kind of alone over by yourselves on the table. Are you guys wanting to do anything?
I leave to go to the library.
When I walk up to Riff, I want to go ahead and pull out my clockwork fairy. Why is that such a hard word? Fey fly, and have it buzz in front of her face, and just kind of like sit there and burst light out, and just kind of wait and see how she reacts.
So yeah, a little kind of brass and copper firefly bug is buzzing around you, Riff.
I hit it with my chucks.
Give me an attack roll.
16.
16?
AC of 13.
That hits. Roll some damage.
9.
How many hit
Max
points
damage.
does it have? Nice.
It has 10.
10. So yeah, you smash this thing. You kind of, it's buzzing around, and you just whip out those chucks and put them back real quick. And it just kind of like starts kind of, like a horsefly kind of flying around, kind of dumbly.
No.
Wait,
That's my. And I like take it and I start like.
Dude, that
tinkering on
thing
it.
sucks.
No. This was a gift. This is a very. It's very important to me. I was hoping to share it with you and have a deep conversation about our pasts and our futures and how they intertwine together. But
dude, that's cool. I'm gonna go to the library. See ya. This is boring as shit.
I'm gonna tinker on my Clockwork Fire faith.
All right. Yeah. You spend some time to start trying to repair it.
I hop off my stool and just start walking towards the library where I now have access.
Yeah. So library is across town, and it is fairly evening, nighttime.
That's fine. I'll sit on the steps.
Yeah. It probably takes you a good 15-20 minutes to get over there.
Okay. I knock on the doors
and
see if that old woman takes forever to get there.
You knock on the door. Wait a moment. Yes, hello.
Hi, it's me. It's Rafarian Nightmare of the Shadow of the Silver Song.
Rafarian, of course.
Yeah. We just won a tournament. It was awesome. We kicked some ass. And my
good.
parents. Oh God, everyone is so fucking boring. So, can I come in and look at the stuff now?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Hold on. And she kind of closes the door. You hear some ruffling on the inside.
Yeah, put your clothes on.
Yeah, she opens the door back up. He says, right this way. So late, young Rafarian.
Sorry, they're so boring. They're talking like adult stuff with contracts, and you know how it is. I just want to read my stuff.
I see. What? Yes, it's
Treasure
much more, it's much less adult. Here, go ahead. Take a look at the books that you need. None of the assistants are here, so you'll have to find the books yourself.
Yeah, that's fine. You guys got to do a decimal, right?
Upstairs. Yes. You should be able to find your way around. Your credentials do check out. So yeah, you have access to the library. Doesn't look like anyone is in the library. There's a couple of candles that are lit. So it looks like they're always lit. What do you want to do?
I look up anything, I just start with the basics and I just start looking up everything that they have on the Treasure of Aether.
Okay. And yeah, you there's some notes that you were following up on that kind of led you over to Usama. And you open up your
my uncle's journal.
Yeah, you open up your uncle's journal and start kind of going through them. You do remember you had kind of mapped out a place where you thought you wanted to investigate. It was some old temple to a god that you couldn't find the name of. Mm-hmm. But it appeared to be in the mage's wastes. Kind of putting two and two together now. It looks like that was where the location was. Now that the war's over, you might be able to access it.
Okay.
But do you have access to this library now to get a little more information on it? Go ahead and give me a investigation check. And I would say advantage because you were in the library.
Uh, 19.
19?
Yeah.
That's very good.
I got a 17 and an 8, but plus 2, so yeah. 19 and 10.
So yeah, you spend probably 2 hours in the library, going through books, going through old records, trying to find,
anything of worth. I put it in my Shadow Monk journal.
Yeah, you kind of pick up on some notes. This temple, though, that you think that might kind of hold the next key to your kind of clue puzzle, is something referred to as the Sin Senai. Sin, and it's kind of like 3 words: Sin, Sen, I, A-I. And it's not any sort of deity you've heard before, but that's the temple that you're looking for, is a temple to the Cincinnati, and apparently is associated in some way with trees and secrets. Mm-hmm.
Secrets.
Yeah.
And secret trees.
Secret tree.
Secret tree. That's the podcast I'm gonna do.
Secret trees.
About your grow-at-home weed business.
Yeah. Little happy trees here.
Is there anything else you wanted to do at the library?
Yeah, I mean, I'll research as long as it takes, like as much as they have on the Treasure of Aether, and like I'll research with Cincinnati, all that sort of, like I'll research that area, like anything whatever sort of the rabbit hole takes me. I'm just like I realize that like adult stuff of like whatever backdoor dealing, like parties aren't for me. I'm 11. I don't give a shit. Like I'm like, well, I've got a mission, so
yeah. So you take advantage of the library's resources and are kind of going through the notes. The temple and it being in the Mages area and the Sensei are the big things that you get, but you do write more notes and more notes down in your journal and
excellent.
Get a little bit further on your quest to kind of uncover what your uncle was trying to do and the ins and outs and intricacies of the secret of Aether.
And however long it's taken me, like, I don't know where my group is at, but I'm just going to walk back to the house. After I feel as though I've exhausted my stuff, I just go back to Chateau de Magnos.
It's kind of funny because I figured we were all going to be drinking so much we'd stay at the tavern.
Me, I want to eventually head back home, too.
Yeah, I guess we probably
And so,
should.
back at the bar, Riff is left, as is fairly common. What do you guys want to do?
I'm repairing my clockwork fairy fly. And I
That
kind
Riff
of look at
smashed.
Zephyrus, and I'm like, oh, it's so smushed. If only there was some way to repair it faster.
There is. I would like to walk over and puffing on my sweet carved dragon pipe. And I say, well, Mr. Ball, it just so happens that you're in luck. And I place my hands on the broken pieces and cast Mending.
Thanks. 2d6.
Is that a thing I can do? Just roll 2d6?
Yeah, 2d6. It
You
takes
can heal it with mending.
a minute, 10 minutes to do.
1 minute.
1 minute.
I rolled a 10.
It's fully healed.
Nice.
Healed.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, the kind of like intricate winds energy kind of starts pushing all the little gear work pieces in place. And after a minute, the little fey fly is able to buzz around.
I say,
And
Mr. Ball, you seem to care about that. The clockwork creature might have felt some. I hope you don't mind me saying that. I hope you be more careful with it there in the future. It's a rather magnificent little thing you have here.
Well, yeah, I was hoping to
Terrible
use
phrase.
it to get Riff's attention, but didn't seem to interest her at all. She kind of left right away. It's kind of hoping to talk to her about, things, but
You're saying that Riff left after you brought out the clockwork firefly and was showing it off, and she was rather unimpressed, and she left. Just
yeah, kind of suddenly. Not sure what she
interesting.
meant.
Well, okay there. I hope you don't break it in the future, but if you do, you call on old Uncle Zephyrus.
Well, that spell that you cast, it seems to work really well on this piece, and I believe it would work on Chain as well. If he ever gets into any precarious situations, perhaps you could heal him as well.
Well, of course, Mr. Ball, I'd be all too happy to do that, rather. It would be my everlasting pleasure to help you in any way possible.
So yeah,
Should I cast
seem
it
to
right
be
now on Shane?
cooling down here. Are we going to stay the night here or head back to yours?
Well, Mr. Telbrun has it in mind that we are walking back to the mansion here shortly. I'm hoping if we all go, the dark would not prove to be too troublesome for the likes of us.
All right. You guys want to head back to the chateau?
I want to go home. I'm drunk.
All right. Yeah, you leave the tavern. Seems all the bills and everything have been taken care of. Make your way kind of through the town. It's kind of partly cloudy in the sky, but the moon's in the night, and there's street lamps that guide your way as you make your way through the town of Turlin.
I will be sitting on the front porch since I'll get there before them. I don't want to be disrespectful and enter the house without the master there.
Gotcha. Okay. And I'll say there's maybe a half-hour difference between when you get there and then when they get there. And you guys are just walking, right? I don't think you guys have any mounts yet.
No, I was hoping, I was thinking if there was somebody, maybe we could hire somebody to take us back, but otherwise we walk, we enjoy this company, the moonlight. Of course, I brought a bottle with us to pass around and share stories.
I mean, if you wanted to try and find someone that had a carriage, that, you see a number of those on the streets. After a few minutes, you can find somebody easily enough.
And I'm enjoying the evening stars and gathering whatever I can from them.
Nice.
And I know that Scory is kind of like a sailing man. He's familiar with the weather, so I'm trying to show off by using my weather sensibility and as we're walking back, enjoying the natural air.
So yeah, did you want to try and find someone to take you there, or did you want to go on
I'm
foot?
happy just walking on foot. Yeah.
Same.
On foot. Yeah.
We're too drunk to find a carriage.
Am I sobering up at all?
If you're not drinking, then yeah, you're sobering up.
Sweet. Okay, good. Yeah, I stopped drinking a while ago.
Okay.
Definitely have Chain help support.
Riff, as you're headed back, walking through the moonlight and the night sky, you get to the bridge just before the mansion.
Okay.
And you see on the bridge there are two kenku. One of them is kind of slumped over on the side with two wounds and it's bleeding out onto the bridge, and the other one is just kind of slumped over the edge and just kind of breathing heavily. Just
okay. I mean, I would run up to them and I break out my chucks and I've got them, under, so I'm ready to strike. But I run over to them and I go, and I'm looking around. I'm like, what happened? What happened? And I'm keeping like a vigilant eye. And,
give me a perception check.
Okay. And what? They're filled with arrows, or they've been stabbed? What was it?
The one that's on the ground bleeding, you can tell, as you get closer, is dead. Seems to have taken some sort of wound to the gut.
14.
14. And the other one kind of turns, to try and defend itself, but doesn't have a lot of strength and just kind of holds a sword at you, and you kind of take a look around. You don't see much in the general vicinity. Looks like
I offer it some water from my canteen. I pull out my canteen.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. It drops the sword and just kind of takes the water and drinks some. And looks kind of at its dead cohort there, and it's just looks at you.
Let's see here. There's, and they don't speak common, right? They just mimic.
No, you haven't really heard them speak. They just mimic. Yeah.
Okay. Well, in my head, I go, this worked once before, so I'm going to do a silent speech and try to talk to it in its head.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just going to ask it, what happened?
It kind of, looks at you and kind of tilts its head.
And, I pointed at me, but...
We're going to take everything they had. We're going to take everything they have. Well, no, they won't be here. No, they won't be here.
I leave. I say to. I look at it and I say, keep the water. I'll be back. My friends are coming. Tell them, robbers in the house. That's what I want you to say when you see my friends coming. And like I describe my friends.
Robbers in the house.
Robbers in the house. Tell them I'm
Robbers
in there.
In the house.
And I dash towards the house.
Okay. So yeah, you start dashing towards the house. And I think that's where we're going to leave it for today's episode.
Nice.
Thank you guys for joining us around our proverbial podcast table. I've been your DM, Alex. To my right, I have...
Dash is Wolf.
Bentley Michaels is Referian Night Meadow.
Red is Zephyrus.
Caleb is Scory.
Milo is Bowl.
Go ahead and grab your swords and keep on adventuring. Thank you.
Follow us across all platforms with Chaotic Amateurs. Please subscribe, rate, and review our show on your podcast app of choice to help us climb the charts and find new adventurers. Or become a patron on Patreon to help our heroes continue their quest. Thank you for listening to Chaotic Amateurs.